2 years ago, I was doing a lot of work with my coach to work out why I felt the business came so easy to other people, and yet it felt like for me, I was playing it on hard mode. When I was going through and looking at my beliefs around business and around money, I was finding a lot of repetitive themes. Things like success is hard to come by, good things don't come easy, money is hard to find, business is difficult. All of these ideas, which could basically be summarized by the idea that success is hard. And because I had all of these beliefs that were ingrained from me from coming from a lower middle class family, from not seeing anyone who was really like swimming in money, from always being heard from society and teachers and parents that success is hard, that hard work is necessary. Because of all of these beliefs, I was making things more difficult in my business because our body aims to make our beliefs true. Same thing, if you've ever seen that Tony Robbins video where he's with Theo Von and he asks him to look around the room and to find all the things that were blue, or to find all the things that were red, I think he said. And then when he asked Theo Von about what he found, he saw that he made some things that were a bit purpley and made them red. He found things a bit orangey and made them red. And he had no idea about the things that were blue. That's because our brain wants to prove our thoughts correct and is always going to look for ways to justify our beliefs. And so if you believe that business is difficult, then you're going to make it more difficult. And one of the examples I have of the ways I was doing this was that I was setting up a referral scheme for my clients so that I could bring more in. And when my coach asked me about it, I said, yeah, I'm just setting up the system so that I can do this, I can track it, blah, 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 how I'm going to reach out to them, how it can be repeatable, how it's going to get the most success, da, da, da. And he just said to me, sit down, open up a message with one of your clients, type to them and say, I've really enjoyed working with you. Is there anyone else that you know that could benefit from this type of work? And I got a referral that day. But because my belief was that things had to be difficult, I was going out and building this huge structure. I was doing the research on good referral schemes, how to use all these psychological things to improve it and make sure that it had the most success possible. And not to say that that isn't always good work, but it was more work than what was needed to be able to get the effect that I wanted. I was placing this block, this barrier of it was too easy to just message someone and ask for a client. And so it just never came up to me as a solution. And then slightly more recently, I've been making these YouTube videos, right? And I want people to find these videos and then start messaging me because they want help removing their psychological and spiritual blocks. And so I was on LinkedIn and I had started to work through this idea of things needing to be difficult. And suddenly the post came to me that all I was going to write was, I've been making these videos on YouTube. They're about these topics. If you'd like to see it, let me know. And I did that. And I had someone comment so they could see the YouTube. They watched the YouTube video. They then booked in for a call. And that was how simple it was. I didn't need a funnel, as I was thinking about before, of like, right, I'm going to make these posts and they're going to have lead magnets, and lead magnets are going to link to the YouTube, and then the YouTube somehow needs to be able to bring them back to the LinkedIn. Then they need to message me the specific words so I know where they've come from, blah, 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 blah. All I needed to do is take my audience on LinkedIn, show them that the YouTube's there, and ask them if they want to see it. Simple as. And that is how you start to put your business on easy mode, by removing these beliefs that things need to be difficult. But it's not just as easy as that, right? You can't just tell yourself, oh, things are easy, and then it starts to happen. You need to start removing the emotional charges behind these beliefs that have kept you there, that makes your brain feel safe, that has guided you to this position that your brain, again, knows is safe. So if you're making a change, your brain can't predict the future, and so it needs to be able to feel safe to make that change. So what I did that worked for me and has worked for my clients is looking back to when you were younger, looking back into when you were building up your views around money and your views around business and a job and anything linked to growing your business. So, for example, one of mine would be that I remember when we would take the train to go into central London to maybe go watch a play or whatever, that my dad would sometimes go drive and park away and then walk all the way back to the train station, and then we'll get on a train because he didn't want to pay the £5-10 for parking or whatever. And so even something as small as that has built this belief in my head that £5-10 must be a lot of money. £5-10 is something that you don't want to lose. £5-10 is worth walking an extra 15-20 minutes for to hold on to, which it obviously then extrapolates when I'm trying to ask people for £500, £1,000, £2,000 a month for my services. It then becomes quite difficult. because £5 to £10 is meant to be a lot of money. And so how could I possibly ask for £1,000, £2,000 without having all of this difficulty and hard work put in for these people for free before asking for any money back in return? And so that's how we could start looking at where our beliefs come from. And when we can sit with these beliefs and we can tell our brain and prime our brain that actually the purpose of this was not for us to be scarce with money, was not for us to show us that money was difficult, but was to show us how much we would love to have an abundance of money, or whatever purpose you want to assign to it. This is called cognitive reappraisal. It's the idea that you can rewrite the meaning behind the memories that you've already faced cognitively, in the present, consciously, because your brain naturally is going to assign negative meaning to things, because again, it makes it safe. And so now we can go back and we can assign our own meaning to it. And this will prime our brain to react in a certain way when these beliefs are challenged again. Another process we can go through is feeling the emotion that these thoughts bring up within us, and being able to sit with that emotion and watch it and allow it to dissipate. That is a very simple exercise that sounds way too simple to work, but is scientifically backed. If you are able to sit with an uncomfortable emotion and show your body that it's okay to feel it, then the next time this thought or feeling comes up, you'll be able to just go through the motions because your body already knows that it feels safe to go through this emotion. And so that is how you can start putting business on easy mode, by finding your beliefs around hard work, around money, around building a business, and removing the thing that says that it has to be difficult, the thing that says it has to be hard. Because no one said that it has to be hard. I'm sure you have examples in your life of people that have run into a lot of success very quickly. I'm sure you have examples in your own life where you've run into success very quickly. There is proof that good things don't have to take time. They don't have to take hard work. It doesn't have to be something difficult. You can go through this life with ease and get the things that you want. If you would like to join a community of founders who are struggling with the same things and looking to remove their internal blocks and do the inner work, then click the link in the description and join the school. And if you would like to apply for one-to-one coaching with myself or to hear about the retreats that I do, then again, click the link in the description, go on to Calendly and book yourself in a time. I look forward to speaking to you. Thank you.